introducing you in world to me, Tara Wilson. Love her as president. She's a rock star leader in this industry, and she knows momentum. There was a reason I called her when she found LifeVantage. She knows timing. She's the genius in this industry. And so we were just like, Tara, will you come and just share like kind of your heart and what you see? And I know we've had several conversations about how excited we are about this Love Biome connection. Are you guys excited?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. Do you guys think this event was electric?
Amazing.
Oh, do you all think it was electric?
Yeah, electric. Yeah. We're so excited. Shauna's lost her voice almost. Again.
So I'm gonna say one thing, just one thing. Let's do the damn thing.
Totally.
Oh gosh, I just spoke 4 times. I forgot.
So good, by the way.
I just spoke for 4 hours. Shauna said so good.
Like, oh, sorry. It's not about the things that we do sometimes, it's the things that we remove that aren't serving us. And that's really where I am at in my leadership. So I just want to encourage you guys as far as if you're literally one of the best network marketers in the world, think about her story and what she's going to tell you, and think about how you can implement that in your life. But most importantly, make the space for it. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's toxic relationships, things you need to give up, you know what that is. It's all about rising, and that's really what this event is meant to me. So Tara, amazing.
Well, I'm truly honored that you would even ask me to come speak and pour into you. And I'll just tell you that events are everything to me. I got into this industry in March of 2007, and I did everything they said, and I saw the vision, and I was just kind of doing it. I was failing. I lost money 3 months in a row, and then my upline said, "You got to go to an event." I'm like, "No," and I didn't know what I didn't know, and she said something to me. She said, you know, if you ask for time off, because I didn't have time off. I had the money, I had the babysitter. I didn't have time off, and so I had to play hooky. But she said, if you ask for someone for time off this year, you may never have to ask for someone for time off again. And that drilled into my head. That was a seed that planted that grew into a beautiful tree. And I went to that event, and again, at probably the level of about an SC3, maybe about 6,000 a month in sales, or maybe let's even say MC1. And when I went through those days and I saw the leaders and I heard the story, how many of you guys heard a story that just blew your mind, or a training from one of these incredible leaders? And I went in there with hope, and I walked out with belief. You see what I'm saying? We all hope, we all want, we all wish, we all like think, oh, it would be great. But I came out of there and I made the decision, and that is the most important word. If I were into tattoos, I would get that decide tattooed on mine, because it is my mantra. Because it is a series of decisions why I'm here as a presidential. And so I came out and I went up to my upline leader, the one that made me go, and she had people that, like, I'll just translate, like, that were MC1s, 2s, 3s, EC1s, 2, 3, like all these ranks, right? And she was equivalent of probably like an EC4. And I went up to her and I said, I'm going to be your first diamond, which would have been about an EC3. And she sat there, I'll never forget that, and slowly looked at me and she said, okay. And months later, when I was her first diamond, and then I beat her to the next rank, blue diamond, which is what I EC4, she said, I knew because I knew that you knew. I saw it in your face. You knew you were going to. So it gives me the chills to even think about this. And so what I encourage you is, we're all excited. Excited is great. Excited is a catalyst. But you're all going to go back to your homes, your spouses, your children's, your jobs, your responsibilities, your problems, all of the distractions in your life. And by the way, all distractions are equal. And so when I made that decision, I said, okay, I've got a 1-year-old and a 7-year-old and a husband that works full time, and I worked full time. So, you know, not much time. And people are mortified. Angie Harper hates it when I tell people this, but I had no time. So I made the decision to turn off my television, and it stayed off for 6 years. And believe me, I'm so thankful there wasn't Netflix back then. I mean, how many are like, your marriage, like, are you still watching? Yes, please go away before someone sees that, right? But I made that decision that I was gonna work my job until I could retire myself, and then I would go in full time. And it took me about July, August, September, October, 4 months from that event to, I didn't make quite as much. I was making about $6,000 a month. 2 months later, I was making $9,000 a month. I replaced my income within a year from that event, I was making $35,000 a month. Why? Because I didn't just dabble, wish, want, hope, dream. I put a plan together that I was going to enroll one person a month, and I was going to teach everyone to enroll one person a month. And by the way, this is kind of embarrassing, but after my 2 years, I had 9,000 something distributors and like one customer. We weren't a customer because we thought everyone should get the tax benefits. And I was like, can you see yourself sharing Love Biome with 2 people? And they're like, yes. Do you think those people could see yourself sharing Love Biome and Protandim with 2 people? Yes. Do you think they would share? And 2 becomes 4,000 in 12 generations. So that was my plan. My plan was to go from 2 to 4 to 8 to 16 to 32 to 64 to 128 to 256 to 512, on to 4,096. And I wanted to double my
that's
team.
good math.
Oh, I can do the whole thing. Oh yeah, 5, 12, 10, 24, 248, 4, 9,000. And I had that printed out on my computer. That was my plan. And I remember logging in my 3rd month and I had 64 people and I was like, it's working, I'm ahead of schedule. And I'm embarrassed to say it took me 13 months to build a team of 4,096 people. But I had a plan. And so I took action on that plan. I took that belief, that hope, that love, that dreams, everything, and I did action. So my husband and I put a plan together because we had 2 small kids and we both worked. So I gave up TV, he still watched it, and he was like, well, I play basketball 2 nights a week. If you're out 2 nights a week, because I committed to 2 living rooms per week, every week, no matter what. I would not stop working and calling. Now that's equivalent to Zoom, but I was in living rooms because we didn't have Zoom. And I committed to that plan. Even the week between Christmas and New Year's, I was in living rooms. And then when I quit my job, I'm like, shoot, what am I gonna do? Everybody's working, this stinks. So then I'm like, who's home? Personal trainers, realtors, stay-at-home moms. I was having meetings Tuesdays and Thursdays in my 1,200 square foot condo. I put out little chairs, people would sit on the floor at 10:30 a.m. because I was like, I need to meet people where they're at. And then I would have events. And then when I'd get someone in a market, I would fly to that market. And sometimes I would drive 90 minutes each way and one person would show up. But I kept doing it. And here's what I'll tell you, is consistency compounds. Another thing I did to be successful is I became an expert. I know this is not going to shock you. I've already read 4 gut health books in the last month. Why? Because we're about to launch a gut health product. Out of the NAD launch in 2019, Marilee hit Pro 8, Becky hit Pro 7, Becky Taylor, and I had another person go Pro 10 presidential from that launch. Product launches, I went Pro 10 out of the collagen launch. So what is your story going to be? I would encourage you to become an expert, right? Talk to Holly, talk to all these wellness people that understand what important. When I found out how important gut health is, I know we are going to change people's lives. We are going to radically change people's lives. I would start with like Dr. Gundry. I left his gut checkbook. He basically said, he's a cardiologist. He said, I've never had a patient with cardiovascular disease I could not fix because after I fixed their diet, I cured everyone. So all disease begins in the gut, and I am so extraordinarily happy. But that's a product. You can never, I will tell you, you will never be a presidential selling product. Listen to me clearly. Ashley Laughlin's doing a great job. She's not even close to presidential. It's like death by 1,000 paper cuts. You have got to build a team. You need soldiers. Your mission every day, your income generating activities every day is to build your team and help them expose to their network to decide who's going to help us sell it, who's going to be our soldiers, and who's going to be product consumers. And I believe everyone. I've made a mission to talk to about 100 Love Biome people, just pick their brains because that's what I do. And they say they have never seen retention like this. So retention is good. People get on it, they feel good, they have results, and they stay on it. So you have a decision to go back to your life and dabble and be where you were, or you have a chance to go back, turn off your television, or even just make the little sacrifices here and there. Instead of listening to music, put on some audiobooks and podcasts. Learn the compound in and out. First thing I did, learn the compound in and out. And think like a millionaire. Think like a business owner. Say, I am a presidential. Put it on your, or whatever rank. Some people just want to make $1,000 a month, and it's okay. That's fine. That's success. Success is a progression toward a worthy ideal. It's where you want to be. It's going towards your goals. But if you do want to be a presidential, or future presidentials, if you do, put it on, and then start asking presidentials or thinking, what would a presidential do today? Right? Would they learn social media? I'm not a numbers person. You don't have a choice. You run a business. You're the CEO. Steve's a great CEO. He's not your CEO. You're your CEO. And I think a lot of people have a hard time. So I want you to go back and think like a business owner. And there's 3 types of people. All right, well, it's probably 10 minutes. I'll leave you with this. I said this to the girl on the way to the room last night. She says, give me something. And she was like, yeah, that's it. That's good. There's 3 types of people. There's the first person is, I'll try to refer some people. I'll make a few posts. I'll try to get some people to show me over their room. I'll try to learn some stuff. I'll try to fit it in my life. Do you think those people will be very successful? Probably moderately. You can get to like probably SC3. I'll try. Then there's the most dangerous person is, I'll do my best. But Tara, I'm doing my best. Wouldn't that seem like I'm doing my best? I'm doing my best with the time. I'm doing my best with my skill set. I'm doing my best with the knowledge I have. Pretty good. You'll probably get to the MC ranks. And then there's the 3rd type of person, and this is how I've always lived, is I will do whatever it takes. Be a whatever it takes kind of person. People who are interested will do what's convenient. People who are committed will do whatever it takes. So I literally left no stone unturned. Did I get ridiculed, rejected? Was I fearful? Did people quit on me? Did they talk behind my back? Did they ghost me? Absolutely, because I had no idea what I was doing. I was just spewing all over them because I was excited and I thought everybody wants to get healthy and make money, right? What's wrong with you? But then I learned that, you know what? You just have to look for the people who are looking. Not everyone is your customer. Not everyone is your consultant. If you struggle with fear or failure, read Go for No. It changed my life. And I would say the other thing is, I'm kind of weird, but I've probably read about 400 or 500 books. I haven't read a novel. I haven't listened to music in 18 years. Anytime you see me, I'm either talking to someone on the phone or I'm listening to somebody that's going to grow my skill set, my mindset, my leadership, my health knowledge. And that's I wasn't born a network marketer. I wasn't downloaded with Nerve2 activation and gut health. I have downloaded inside of me, and each and every one of you has that opportunity and has that ability. So go be the expert. Find one thing you're passionate about and be the expert on that and share it with the world. And you know what? When you're truly passionate about something and you're sharing it with the world, that's the most attractive thing because it's authentic and you really care. Because it stops being a transaction and starts being wow, they really care about me. They want me to be healthy. They want me to get out of this financial crisis. They want me to be home with my baby. They want me to be able to pay for my child's college. Because the money is great. I'm not going to lie. Being able to pay for my children's colleges and have money for their weddings and live in a beautiful home is great. But at the end of my life, it has nothing to do with things. I'm not a things person. I stop at Nordstrom Rack. I'm not a things person. At the end of my life, I'll say, what impact did I leave? How many lives were positively impacted because of my sacrifice, my hard work? And I want you to keep, they talked about the dash, right? The dash. Keep the end in mind. What do you want your legacy to be? Because I believe, everyone's like, have you ever looked at this company? I'm like, no, because I believe that LifeVantage is the best company. That's why I'm here. That's why I'll be here forever. That's why we chose it, right? And that's why we're building a legacy here. So I encourage you to figure out where do you want to go and get an accountability partner and run like your hair is on fire. Set a goal that you are going to keep yourself accountable so that when you get to Las Vegas, in April, that you will look back on this moment and be proud of yourself. And if you're accountable to someone, you will. So I hope that you guys have, make a big decision, and I would love for you, I would invite you to come to me in Vegas and tell me the decision you made and tell me the results you have. I want to celebrate with you. Thank you guys.
Love it.